All right, James, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So to start, I want to ask you, what experience or insight prompted you to start your company?
Yep. Just I guess a 20-second background to get to that is,
Sure.
So I grew up in the DRC in Kinshasa. My family's been there for 3 generations, so that was my whole life. Ended up in New York studying computer science at NYU. 2015 sophomore year was my first time actually interacting with crypto. I bought my first Ethereum, we're studying in comp sci class, and I was sending money back home to a friend, and that's how I discovered it. I feel like growing up in Africa or emerging market in general, if you discover something like this, it's not like, oh, this is a stock or this is something let's make some money off of it. This is like something crazy that you could never do before. Because before this, it would be buying gift cards or buying various other things to get money to Africa.
That makes sense. And so now tell me about your journey, you taking it from an idea to be, expand across the continent and then expand globally. What's that been like and what are the challenges like?
For sure. I think I got into crypto just in general, just 3 reasons: banking and bank, cross-border payments, and remittances. And these are 3 that you really see in Africa if you live here. So for us, it's been quite a journey. 2021 November is when I started Jambo. We essentially had a few friends support us, very lucky, a few investors. We did a seed round then. Off some good numbers, we did a Series A. I think at the end of the day though, expanding in Africa, people say like it's one region or one country, but honestly, you're talking about billions of people, 50-something countries, only one, Botswana, that has given the first crypto license in all of Africa.
Wow.
Yes, so dealing with each sort of region's different things is very hard, I'd say, to localize. Yes.
And you mentioned that you raised that Series A. What's your experience been like raising capital in Africa?
Great question. I think just from talking to investors, it's weird because usually when I talk to investors, they know everything about your topic before you even talk to them. That's the only reason they're investor. But for Africa, 95% plus of our investors have never been here or never even invested into the region. So for me, it really was a process of explaining what Africa is, the growth. Smartphone penetration, 50%. 3 of the top 10 countries, crypto peer-to-peer transaction volume, the youngest population. Once they sort of see, I guess, these trends, they're more interested, and then we can go into the nitty-gritty details, and then it's whether Jambo or myself is the right team to do this. But I think end of the day, more and more investors are getting recognition for Africa and investing in because of guys that have gone out to really approach a lot, such as even Yellow Card. Chris and I were on a panel. They probably did one of the best raises, giving exposure to Africa as well.
Now, I want to turn to a little bit of a harder question here.
Please.
In the US, we are really negative on crypto right now, especially after everything with FTX.
Yes.
How are you looking at that situation and what are you telling people about, you and your business and the stability of it?
Yes. I think dealing with Africa and every country in Africa is it surprised me just seeing how a lot of the things turned out this year in the US for regulation, et cetera. Because we obviously know, I think it was Ryan Selkis and Masari that wrote this on Twitter the other day, but if America does not become not even say crypto haven, but at least sort of a middle ground for it, crypto as an industry, we all will suffer for a long more time for adoption. So I think America is super key for just crypto adoption in the future. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, we see emerging markets and a lot of the sort of great policies that come out to attract new people. So I think this next 10 years will be very interesting.
Going along with that, what's the biggest hurdle you have faced, either getting people to adopt crypto or to give your company a chance, and how have you overcome that?
I would say language barriers might be one of the biggest things because we're in 14 regions at the moment, and obviously a lot of them are Francophone speaking. So myself and my sister, co-founder, we grew up in Congo, so we do speak French. That was our mother tongue. But when you're hiring and et cetera, you have to do a lot of things yourself. You have to be in the region. And our team right now is a bit over 100, mostly full-time, some part-time. So all of those took a long time to, build up.
What would you say are the biggest misconceptions about being an entrepreneur in Africa?
I guess that you have to look African. No, I'm joking. No, the reason being, it was funny because during our Zoom raise, right? So I raised during a weird time. It was during COVID. So everything was on Zoom, and most investors, when they were introed, hey, do you guys want to talk to this project from DRC building the super app for Africa? They're expecting someone not looking like me to pop on the Zoom screen. So I guess that's one, but I say mostly a lot is around the financial system, where say, even let's take away from even running like an entrepreneurial crazy business. Let's just say you make furniture, you sell wood, and you need to buy wood from various places. Even to pay your supplier or to receive money, you can't do that right now because there's no cross-border payments. So you need companies like Yellow Card, like OVEX, guys that do cross-border payments and exchanges and OTC to help facilitate that. So honestly, I really don't see a lot of things that are going on in Africa, the challenges, as something that people are trying to solve just for solving it to make their company better. It's more like, it's a problem that everyone sees. It's like, it's when you're traveling and you didn't unpack your luggage, you see it there every day, but no one's doing anything about it. So just trying to, I guess, enable these infrastructures.
So I'm going to ask you a fun one now, and
Please.
I ask a lot of young founders this. What would it take to get you to sell your company?
That's a really great question, actually. It says a lot about the company.
Yeah.
Honestly, every investor should ask that question. Surprisingly, none have. I'd say we would have to have accomplished something close to what we really set out to accomplish. No, the reason I say this is because, as you know, my family's been in Africa for Congo 3 generations. My sister is my co-founder. Essentially, we're putting everything, all of our family reputation, everything on the line to do these concurrent joint ventures in these 14 regions to build, working with all of our partners and et cetera. So honestly, this is like, we never set out for this to be in a time but market cycle or anything. It's at least a 5 to 10 year goal to build a Web3 in Africa. If you ask me about exit, I would have to say that whoever buys the company, or hopefully something, et cetera, is someone that actually builds a lot in Africa and we can work together. So.
And one final question for you. Where do you see your company in 10 years? If not, it's already sold,
No,
like
not
we
at all.
just talked about.
Well, hopefully when I come to Botswana in 10 years, I can download the Jambo application and use it to do all kinds of on-rail and off-railing, but as well as make money. Yes, that would honestly be the craziest thing, yes.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.